Hey, I'm Aspen.
And I'm Ubu.
And this is Movie Grits,
a movie podcast where we talk about everything except the movie we're watching.
And today, we're watching
Johnny English Reborn.
Okay, on with the show!
Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're ready for Johnny English Rides Again.
The more English.
The more English, the mere English.
Mayor
Still
English.
Yeah, I am Mayor English. And funnily enough, I speak French.
France.
I speak French.
Did you see that clip of, like, the Miss America or whatever? Where it wasn't Miss America, but it was like a beauty pageant and all the countries were saying the name of their country. Mm. And then it got to France, and she, like, choked big time because she just said, France! That's what it sounded like.
I'm trying to think if I have seen that, or if I'm just having a Mandela catalog moment.
Because everyone else, it was just, like, normal, but you can, if you play it slowly and listen really closely, you're like, okay, she's saying France with a French accent, but it just sounds like she's honking like a goose, you know? It's bad.
That's pretty epic. I would have voted for her from that alone. I'm going to close my eyes and ears for the rest of this, whatever is going on. Whatever I'm doing here. France wins. Yeah.
Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Zimbabwe.
Is that the Ice Age song?
I think so.
Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe.
Mm-hmm. I think that was the joke as kids. It was like, oh, he's saying Zimbabwe, but he's not.
We were all derpy when we were children.
Mm-hmm. Meanwhile, at the air temple,
he's learning how to pick up a single pebble.
Yeah.
He's learning
Freddy Fazbear's there.
He's learning how to die because they're all dead except one.
Oh, dang, got him.
Got him. Yeah, for airbenders, they sure do a really good job of not breathing air because they all died.
Yeah.
Ong almost died. He was in ice for a century.
That's true. He froze
They put
himself.
him on ice. Yeah.
Ong.
Put Ong on ice, boys. They were, sure thing, boss.
What kind of air temple?
This is where Kung Pao trained.
It really kind of looks like, oh.
I mean, they're even doing that.
It's pretty similar.
Yeah, that's what Betty had his, like, subordinates do.
Yeah, that was his skill, like his big call to fame.
Yeah, other than changing people's clothes color.
I remember this as well. And I was like, why is this in this movie? And then my parents or whatever were like, it's British.
It's British. They all drag rocks around by their,
Nethers.
by their nether region.
Oh.
It's actually relatively easy to walk on coals and not get burned. You just have to move fast enough for the heat to not transfer to your foot.
Ah, yes. Like an airbender.
Yeah, or a normal person. A firebender. We're all firebenders deep inside.
Yeah. If you consider your inner fire.
Yeah, if you learn how to rap, you be breathing fire or something.
Spitting fire.
No, you're breathing it.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Vomiting fire.
You just killed him.
SMH. OMG. That's how you spell smog.
Smoke.
Smog. Why has he gotta keep doing that? It's
and
the winner is Rocky!
No, that's so bad.
I still got 2 pieces of pizza left.
Dang, I'm all out of my not German delicacy.
Yeah. By the way, viewer, this was filmed a week after the last one.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah. We just left our food out on the desk. Well, Aspen didn't. She ate it all. But
I ate it all, yeah.
This, I set this pizza aside. I said this stays on the desk for Movie Grits and Movie Grits alone. So it's nice and cold and stale.
And
Bugs have been
solidified.
yeah, it's calcified. It's like it's a fossil now.
A fossil. After a week. That's incredible. The kind of air conditions you have in there.
Yeah, that it's so frigid in here that it just like compacted. I basically dry aged it. I don't know how dry aging works.
That takes like years.
No, you just dry it. And it gets older by itself.
Gotcha.
Dude, they did another one.
This one is not as good.
They did another Johnny English movie.
Yeah.
Dude, I didn't even know that. That's so cool.
It's so cool. Look at him sitting in Lotus in the back of a taxi.
He's doing crisscross applesauce like a little baby boy.
Like a baby boy. Where's my baby boy? My
Grandpa's
cat.
back there. Gotcha.
For those, because it's been a week since we...
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It's been a whole week. I'm sure they forgot about cheese.
I'm not calling Rowan Atkinson my baby boy.
Where's my baby boy? There he is. Good morning.
That's cringe. Oh, I
We're
remember
all English.
what I was going to say.
Okay.
Topic
What?
of discussion
Okay.
coming from this experience I had. Okay, so
Okay.
I saw the new Spider-Man movie, but this has nothing to do with it.
Well, we can also talk about that, even though I haven't seen it.
Okay. But the movie is 2.5 hours long. It's pretty long, right?
Holy crap!
Yeah, so naturally I had to pee in the middle of it. So I picked a
Yeah.
moment. I was like, this looks like nothing's going to happen or predictable, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Jeez. So I sprint out of there because I don't want to miss anything because it's a good movie. What is going on? I'm trying to tell a story. But anyway, I'm in the bathroom, right? And there's no one in there except a mother and her very young toddler child. And I was like, no big deal. I'm going to pee and leave. And I pick a stall and I sit down to pee, right? And then I'm just listening to this mom talk to her kid. And she's like, you just need to go to the bathroom. And she's like, I don't wanna. And she's like, just pick a stall. And she's like, I want that one. And of course, I'm inside the stall, so I don't know which one she picked. But the mom was like, but there's all these other ones open. And I'm just sitting there like, did this toddler just pick the stall that I'm currently in to go to the bathroom?
Mm-hmm.
She did. So you know what she did? She
What?
stood outside my stall. Just waiting for me to pee. And
Well,
I couldn't do it because I have like pee anxiety or something. I was
stage
like,
fright.
it was so quiet in there. And then I knew this toddler was just standing outside my stall. And the mom was also quiet. And I was like, so what I did is I flushed the toilet pretending like I had gone, and I sprinted out of there as fast as I could and went to the family gender neutral bathroom and peed in that. And then it was 5 minutes later and I got back into the movie.
And you went back in and the credits were rolling.
Exactly. So that was like horrible, and part of me was like, I just need to get over this and yell at the mom to, I don't know, be a parent to her child and take her to another stall, but I was like, I can't do this, and I left.
I think the kid was just like, obviously this is the coolest stall because other people are going to it.
Yeah, I mean, if it tells anything, the toddler was wearing a tutu, so the mom wasn't going to
Interesting.
challenge her little princess.
My little princess. You can use any toilet you want, even though occupied ones.
There were 3 other stalls, and she had to choose mine.
Not good enough for my little princess. She needs an occupado.
Yeah, I don't know. She wanted the toilet seat warm or something. I don't know.
I guess so.
It's just terrible. So if you're a parent out there, don't be that parent, please.
If you're a parent out there, tell your child, listen, my little princess, you can use these 3. That one's broken.
Like, my
That's
thought
why she's
is,
in there, to keep people from going in, because it's
this,
broken.
yeah, this kid was maybe 4. Why would the mom like, I understand giving your child choice, right? But then, like, why not, like, I don't know, just tell the kid no. I don't get it. Like, why would you just, like, oh, my kid has made a decision.
You could be like, this stall is closest to the sinks, and that's cool. And the kid, there's like a 50% chance the kid will be like, oh, that is cool.
I know, she could have said anything, like, ooh, but this stall is empty, which means it has magic in it.
Yeah, you'd be like, you could do like a ballet show where you pee.
Yeah.
In this one, but you can't do it in that one. And then, well, maybe you shouldn't do that, because that would open the door of why can't I do that in that one? Yeah. And then you have to be like, because I don't know.
Well, it's very simple. It's like the kid is like, I want to go in that one. And then you say, as a parent, you can't go in that one. You're going in this one.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel like if you're at a point where you have to like try and reason with a child, you at a very early age made some compromises to like potentially made some like, I don't want my kid to put me in an unpleasant situation type compromises.
Yeah.
Where, you know, it's like you can't have the candy and the kid screams and you're like, fine, you can have the candy. Well, yeah, if a kid is young enough to where they're causing a bit of a ruckus for other people, it's because enough stuff like that probably happened. Now, I'm not a parenting counselor, but I've seen it happen where that snowball starts going down the hill and it just gets bigger and bigger. And eventually there's just like, it's just not going to happen. You know, that snowball ain't stopping for like the rest until that child is an adult and can like reason for themselves. Oh, I'm kind of unpleasant.
Yeah.
And even then that doesn't always happen.
My thing is just don't give your child anything. They have to
put
earn
your
it.
child in a room with a bucket.
Yeah.
And a second bucket that has water in it.
My question is also, there was a family bathroom. Why didn't they just go in that one?
I'm guessing probably... I think family bathrooms, that's more like, I need a changing table, right?
Well, it was just like it was just like a one toilet bathroom, you know? It's like... Oh, it's the Get Out guy.
Yeah, I was going to say, is that Mr. Get Out?
Yeah, he's about to run at the camera.
He's about to get out.
Yeah.
Yeah, he runs up to the camera, and it's like a fisheye lens, so his face is distorted. He goes, "Get out, Mr. Bean!" And then he runs out, and that's his only role in the movie.
Yeah.
That'd be great. That'd be foreshadowing for another movie.
Weird how that happens.
Weird Al, that happens. Well, I'll try and think of an uncomfortable situation I got put in once. Because it happens a lot. Yeah. Some days at work, you know, I want to be nice to people, but I'm just not all there socially. You know, I'm not the kind of person who's like, I'm not in the right headspace to talk to people. Yeah. I'm like, I understand. People are people. And I don't want to be rude to people. But sometimes I'm just not in, like, social mode. Yeah. So while I try to be nice and I think I succeed, it's less that I'm unpleasant and more that I probably just come off, like, very autistic. Because I'm, like, not making eye contact. I'm just thinking about the things I need to do. I'll say hi and look in someone's direction, not look at them. And then just, like, walk off. Yeah. You know, stuff like that.
It's just like you didn't tune into your social skills for the day, so it's like...
Yeah. I mean, today was a big example of that, because all day I've been thinking about, like, stuff that I'm going to be doing, like, in the next week, and, like, you know, projects I want to work on. My schedule has opened up a little bit more, so I can focus on that kind of stuff. And I was thinking about it, you know, like I said, all day. And then I looked at the clock and realized it was time to get ready for work. And then I was driving to work, still thinking about it. And I got to work and I was like messaging people about it. And yeah, just like all day today, I was like, I know I need to like clean the bathrooms and mop and stuff. But like, you know, it's like I'm barely in the mode to like do my job well. So talking to people if someone like walked up to me and asked me a question, I was probably just so out of it. Yeah. Not because I'm tired, but because I'm just like, I didn't expect this. What?
Yeah.
And that's me not every day, but on days like today. So suffice it to say, I have a lot of awkward run-ins with people. You know, I think I don't know if I told this story on Movie Grits, but there was a Saturday morning where I was working, and Saturday mornings are awful because I go to bed at like 2 in the morning and I'm waking up like 6 hours later for work, and that's not a lot of sleep for a sleepy guy like me. So when I'm at work, I'm half asleep, and around the time I'm like, "Ooh, man, I've got maybe 45 minutes of work in me," and I look at the clock and like not even an hour has passed, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
I've still got so much time." And yeah, and then at that point, I feel like I'm in just like limbo. And then all of a
Yeah.
sudden I look at the clock and it's noon and I can leave. But there was a day where I was at work feeling like that full force, just like half asleep, just out of it as all get out. And this guy walks up to me, this like old man, and he's like, what did he say? He's like, "You see my granddaughter?" And I was just like, "What?"
Huh.
He's like, "You see my granddaughter?" And I was just like, "No, sir." He was like, "I'm looking for my granddaughter. I can't find her." And I was just like, I'm not in the mood to deal with missing children.
It's like, okay.
I didn't say that, but I was just like, I don't know. Like, the way he was talking made it sound like he was like seconds away from being like, it's your job to keep an eye on her. And I was just like, I'm not first and foremost, it's not true. It's your job. My job is to make sure the floor's clean. But, obviously, if I saw a kid like getting abducted, I would say something. I wouldn't just be like, "That's not in my job description."
Yeah,
I'll
lost
let the
children.
cops deal with that.
Yeah.
But whatchamacallit? No, like I literally didn't see anything. The only like human being I've seen for the past 15 minutes was this man just sitting there in like the waiting area. And he starts darting around and I'm just kind of like, dude, is there going to be like a whole thing? Because I don't have the energy to sweep, let alone solve a missing child incident. But and then it turned out that she was just in the bathroom changing. So
Yeah.
he got all up in arms about nothing. It was so funny. He was like all worked up, and it was just he just didn't hear her walk behind him.
Yeah.
And then he like got mad at me about it, and I was just like, no, I can't deal with this. I'm happy she didn't go missing because I wouldn't have had the energy to solve the problem.
Yeah. Human interaction is tough. I was
Yeah.
like at Home Depot today,
Mhm.
and they have these new like carts that lock if you try and steal them, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like shopping carts, they'll lock if you take them too far in the parking lot or whatever.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that like homeless people don't steal, I guess. I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
And so I had one of those, but I was in the store and I just bought my paint because I'm painting the house.
Mm-hmm.
And the second I get past the registers to like the door to leave, my cart locks up and all the alarms start going off. And the checkout people are like, "No, you're good," as in like, don't worry about the alarms going off. Because like, sometimes you'll go through the anti-stealing things and they'll go off for no reason. But I was like, "No, my cart's not working." And the woman was just like, "Have a good day, bye." And I was like, "What?" So luckily it was enough stuff that I could just pick it up and carry it to my car, but I was like, I'm gonna leave my cart in the middle of the walkway because it doesn't move now.
Yeah, that's interesting. I didn't know they had that kind of thing.
Yeah, and it's not on every shopping cart. Like, they can only afford like a handful of them.
Mm-hmm.
I just happened to get one that apparently doesn't want me to even leave the store.
Yeah. I feel like that doesn't really solve the, if you don't want a homeless man or just like a delinquent child stealing your cart,
Yeah.
well, I guess those carts are good, but what about the ones that don't have that?
Yeah, maybe they're like testing it out and like phasing them in. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
Because I've
Yeah,
seen
it's
other grocery stores that just have them, but they never malfunction like that.
mm-hmm. Yeah. One thing I want to say real quick about the movie is I really like this part where he
Yeah.
just like he's keeping up with them not because he's an action star, but because he's just very practical.
Yeah,
But
it's all those times in the mountains.
yeah, he just
Like a ladder.
I love the bit this guy's like jumping down in a few seconds he's like jumping down the scaffolding and Johnny English just gets on the elevator. And once he reaches the ground, Johnny English just gets off the elevator and walks after him.
It's so good.
Yeah. It's probably the highlight of this entire movie.
Yeah,
Because it's the only part I remember.
Oh, now he's playing like Mario or something.
Yeah, he's playing the iconic part of Mario where he gets on the scaffolding. Yeah. This is more like Wrecking Crew Aspen.
Yeah. Not plumbing, I get it.
Yeah, not plumbing. Speaks Mandarin, but we don't know what he said. He might have cursed him out.
He probably said, "Here you go, stupid."
Yeah, he said, "Don't eat any bats."
No, you can't say that.
Not for any particular reason. It's just good advice. He just got back from like, I don't know, Tibetan monk camp.
Yeah, I mean, this was what, almost 10 years before the whole shebang went down, so he's maybe just a fortune
it's like 9
teller.
years. It's so weird to think this movie was only 9 years young before coronavirus.
What a statement you just said.
Well, I know 9 years is in actuality, you know, that's like almost in like an eighth of your whole life, but it doesn't feel that long. See, then there he is.
Wow, he's angry too.
Yeah.
Oh, and he breaks his neck. And then he says, "Get out." Oh, he's running. He's running.
Yeah, he goes, "Get out of this alleyway and get that man."
And just for the record, I do know his character isn't the one that runs in the movie, but I'm just going to keep going.
He's the one that gets out.
Yeah, because he probably runs at some point.
Yeah, he probably runs from the situation he's in when he has the ability to.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't know. I've never seen it and I don't want to.
Did he just commandeer a yacht? Like, what?
I thought that flag was the Beanie Baby logo.
What a random thing to have on your boat.
That'd be funny that they get a sponsorship from Beanie Babies. They're like, where do we put the logo? How about a rich person's yacht flag?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't notice.
Dude, I would. You know how many Beanie Babies I had as a kid?
Oh, I had still have a lot.
Yeah. Tuesday, I was rummaging through my closet, cleaning that room, and I saw my little, I don't know if it's a teeny Beanie Baby or like a Beanie Baby Buddy or something like that. The little McDonald's ones. That came out in like the late 90s. And I had in the packaging still the Iggy the Iguana one that I got from a yard sale a few years back. Because that was like my iconic Beanie Baby when I was a kid. But then like a dog bit it and then I lost it.
Oof.
Yeah. And then I got like the normal Iggy the Iguana. And it was cool, but it just wasn't the same. You know, it wasn't the teeny Beanie Baby Iggy the Iguana. And then I went to a yard sale with my mom that it's like this dude who, like every couple of months he'd have a yard sale and it would all just be like retro toys and stuff. And he had that Iggy the Iguana from McDonald's. And I was like, oh, it's only $1. I'll buy it. That was pretty epic. Y'all should go to estate sales and yard sales.
I will say I did see an estate sale the other day as I was like coming home from something, and I almost stopped, but then I was like, I don't have any money. So
when you get money, you need to go back. You need to bang
hopefully
on that door and be like, open the estate sale back up. I got money.
You still got stuff. There's still walls here.
Yeah, you still got stuff in there. Just going.
Let me in.
Let me in.
And then I get arrested.
Yeah. You're under arrest for forcing an estate sale.
The biggest crime. I guess forcing a estate sale is a kinder way of saying murdering someone.
Yeah, it's like a euphemism for like an attempted murder.
Yeah. That's so funny.
What are you trying to do? Force an estate sale? I'm too young for an estate sale.
That's like a family-friendly way of saying like death and murder and stuff.
He ragdolled off the pallet there.
That's good.
He's like a Breath of the Wild / Tears of the Kingdom character when they get hit with a hard move.
Or like your character in Oblivion when they get paralyzed.
Oh yeah.
They just go flopping around. Oh, it's so good. Such a good mechanic.
That's
I
great.
remember there's one memory I have, I don't know why it was such a founding memory, of my character, which I would play during the day, and then when I would go to sleep at night, my dad would play the same character and level her up. You know, just like a father-daughter bonding moment.
Yeah.
So I was playing the character and my dad was watching, and I got shot with an arrow, which sometimes has a chance to paralyze you if the character's like good enough. So my character got paralyzed over like a table, and then she got shot again in the butt, and it was so funny. I was like, that you couldn't even recreate that if you tried.
A bit of a British moment.
Yeah. I mean, she was wearing pants, but
Yeah. A half British moment.
a half British moment. There was a butt, but it was covered.
I don't know a Welsh moment.
A Welsh moment. Yeah, half British moment. I guess that would be an American moment.
Yeah, that's an American moment.
We like our
cool.
butt humor too, but it has to be fully clothed.
Yeah, we don't want to see the butt. We just want to like make a reference to it.
Yes.
Because that's funny. The
That's-
reference is funny. We know it. We don't want to see it. Stop.
Yeah. Stop it. Get some help.
Stop it. Get some help. Get some pants.
Here's the obligatory sexy lady that is giving him PTSD.
Yeah. What happened? He had a sexy assassination vision? Why?
Yeah. They keep hinting that something happened in Mozambique and that's why he's got the eye twitch.
Oh, okay. I forgot that there was a whole, like, a disgrace moment that happened in his life.
Yes.
Yeah, I forgot about that because I'm not paying attention. Who'da thunk?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, they only showed it in like a newspaper clipping.
Yeah, it said Mr. Bean disgraced moment. And then he threw it in the fire and went, no more of this reference.
It's the Gone Girl.
It's Gone Grink.
It's Gone Grink. We found Grink.
Gone Grink's wife, Gone Girl.
Gone Girl. Oh, man. Have you ever seen
man.
Gone Girl?
No.
It's quite an interesting, like, psychological mystery thriller movie. It's very interesting.
Oh, okay. Have you ever seen Whiplash?
No. Have you ever seen Pokemon?
Have you ever seen Pokemon the movie? I know there's like 80 of them, but any of them? You've seen
No.
Detective Pikachu.
I've seen Detective Pikachu, and that's about it.
Yeah, and Detective Pikachu sucks! I'm just kidding. It's fine, I guess.
Except for the skin flavored one.
The skin-flavored one.
Yeah.
Jigglypuff?
Yeah, the one that we were like, gross.
Oh.
The one that licks.
Lickitung.
Yeah.
But Lickitung is like what I imagined.
But he's
It's
like
a-
skin.
Yeah, that's like what Jigglypuff should have looked like. I wanted more of them to look like skin. Not every Pokemon has fur.
But that skin is gross.
But what... I mean, listen.
He's mad.
Jigglypuff's Japanese name is Pudding, which literally means pudding. It's a ball. It's a blob. It's like a blob. I know Jigglypuff has like the little stylistic hair curl, but its name is Pudding. I imagine it is a ball of pudding. I don't, yeah. Because I know there are people who are like, what do you think that the hair curl is just like a flesh blob? Yes, I do. Nothing about that character has ever indicated it's furry other than the weird hair thing. Anyway. I get worked up about this kind of stuff.
It's still gross.
Yeah, but it's a Pokemon. They're all kind of weird.
I guess that's fair.
It's almost they're like cartoon characters or something.
No, that could never happen.
Cartoons are fake. They have to have hair.
Oh, he's taking out the queen.
It's like if Elmer Fudd got drawn in 3D and was covered in fur.
Why are you making your mom vacuum the house?
Could she be both?
Also, I just had a lisp. I said the house. I don't know what happened there.
Why is she making her mother clean the house? What's wrong with her? A bee stung me.
Yeah, apparently. Segue into The Bee, and then we watched The Bee.
The Bee with Nicolas Cage.
Nicolas Cage, yeah.
Nicolas Cage gets a bee stuck on his head.
A bees!
He goes, yes, bee powers!
What?
That's how he becomes the bee.
The Bee, the ultimate...
Yeah. He goes, not the bee! I don't want to be anything but that!
The ultimate villain.
Yes. Who wins in a fight, the Spot or the bee?
The Bee.
Yeah, I think so too. The
Angry.
bee single-handedly killed knockoff Freddy Fazbear and his friends.
Yeah, without saying a single word and many cans of soda.
Yeah, his only weakness, maybe the Spot could like teleport all of his soda away. And then he's like, what am I going to do with my break?
I mean, I will say from what I've seen in the movie, Spot, pretty powerful. Mm-hmm. But the Bee?
But, I mean, let's be honest. I think Kingpin could beat the Spot.
I mean, No, I won't say that. That's spoilers.
Yeah, I haven't seen the movie, and I don't know when I will, if I do. I kind of want to, but knowing it's like 2.5 hours long, I kind of... I'm not in the mood.
It doesn't feel like 2.5 hours, though. I will say it's very well paced, and it's a very gripping story. There's only a couple moments where it's like, boring relationship moment. And that's when you can go pee. And then get stared down by a toddler through the stall. Yeah. Imagine if she was banging on the... Imagine if she like slid.
All right, hold on. I'm retreating into my mind to imagine. No, I'm just kidding.
Imagine if she just slid under the stall door and was like, can I come in?
Hurry up. The princess needs the party.
I would call the police and have the child arrested.
I'm sure. You're under arrest for not waiting your turn.
Yeah, honestly. And then, ooh, I would turn into a Karen in that moment. I don't care.
Yeah, you go, that's just inappropriate behavior. I don't care if you're 3.
Yeah, I don't care who you are or what your age is. There will be no sliding under my stall door.
What if they, like, grease the floor and they're just, like, sliding through like a penguin?
Well, if they're going through multiple and they're not stopping in my stall, then I guess that's fine. That's entertaining.
Okay. That would be fun. I'd feel, like, violated, but also laugh. Because it's like, they could have looked up.
It was instant. Yeah, it was instantaneous. Which, okay, that reminds me. I remember one time in college, I was... One time in college, I was studying in the library, and I was on one of the floors that was, like, the quiet floor, so you couldn't talk, obviously. And I guess it was final season or something, and I was just casual, nothing going on, and then out of nowhere, silently, I will say, a couple people were just running through the library in those inflatable T-Rex suits.
Mm-hmm.
And the idea of the kid sliding under the stall kind of reminded me of that.
Okay. The T-Rex suit was also greased up.
Yeah, greased up, sliding across the library.
Sliding across a very, very waxed floor.
Mm-hmm.
There was a trip I went on with my church's youth group years ago, and we found, I don't know how to describe it. We found like this big ditch with like the name of the city we were in, like spelled out in big letters that were like raised off the cement. And we were bored because we'd finished everything for the day, and we whatchamacallit, had a lot of Snapple just like in our cars. And so what we did was we poured the Snapples on the letters and we slid down the letters.
This sounds like a dream that you had.
It does, doesn't it? But it was real.
We had a bunch of Snapple and made a slip and slide out of some letters.
Yeah, we went slip and sliding on the name of the city we were in using Snapple as lubricant.
Which I don't think is very slippy.
Yeah, I mean, we slipped down. It was fun. We definitely did it. There might... I would have to do so much digging, but there might still be like the video of us going down the letters. It was pretty cool. There's a part where like I'm like slowly starting to go down and I don't want to leave yet, so I'm like, no! I like grab the top of the letter like I'm falling off a cliff. And then I had a friend who was like there were people who were just like straight up zip down the letters, and I had a friend who was like barely moving, and he just like looks to the sky and lifts up his hands and goes, yeah!
Yeah, baby!
Yeah, he goes, yeah, boy! It was so funny. It was such an interesting moment. I was like reminiscing at lunch Sunday about that moment, because someone else who was on that trip brought it up, and I was like, do you remember the letters with the Snapple?
Such a random pairing of words.
Yeah, it's like, I have to go so deep into the story if you don't know what I'm talking about. Because how would you even, like...
explain that?
Yeah, put two and two together. Oh, man. Good times. It was kind of an annoying trip, but it was... That was fun.
Golf.
Golfing? You know what rhymes with golf?
What?
Flog. It's golf backwards.
I don't think that's how that works.
Golf flog?
Now you just sound like Scandinavian.
Golf flog. I'll just say golf flog.
Yeah.
Over and over. Dude, that's the helicopter Frank West comes in on?
No, that means his name.
He goes, follow me! Fantastic.
That means there's going to be an apocalypse.
Oh no, but only in one small American town.
In
And they're in
Colorado
England.
somewhere.
Yeah. What's the name? Willamette. That's the name of the mall.
That's not a real name.
You're right, it's not, but it's the name of the town in Dead Rising. You know, it's really crazy. They say the population of Willamette, and it's like it's like 50-something thousand people, which is
Not worth it.
That is a small amount of people for like a town.
Yeah,
And
it's a very small town.
And yet they have the biggest mall in like human history.
And the biggest zombie population.
Also that, yeah. But more impressive, what I'm getting at is, why do they have such a big mall? Like you could fit like the entire population of that town in the Willamette Mall comfortably. Like, why weren't they all barricaded in there? Answer
Couldn't
me.
tell you.
But yes, they did also have a surprising amount of zombies. More than 0. That's more than enough.
That's plenty.
That's plenty of zombies. One zombie is Enough. We can stop there.
Look at them hips.
Dang.
Rowan
he's like
still got it.
Shakira.
Shakira. Shakira.
Shakira
Oh, baby,
O'Neal.
when you talk like that. Yep.
Something like that.
Yeah. Ooh, she's so cool.
You know who that is? Kim Jong-il.
You can't say that.
That's 2 for 2. What's a third thing I can say? Where
That'll
you
really
respond?
get the people going.
Yeah, that'll really rile everyone up, and you have to tell me I can't say it. There's a part of me whenever I like say stuff like that that's like, is this the movie Grits where someone comments and is like, that's too far, I'm not watching anymore.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
hasn't
they
happened.
have to know we're joking.
Yeah, they have to know. I'm not.
And if
I
they
don't
don't-
actually think that's Kim Jong-il. I'm pretty sure he was dead by this point.
Yeah, we all know it's Kim Jong-un.
Yeah, it's
Gosh,
No, she's too skinny.
that's so fair.
That maybe it's the woman cousin that went to the Olympics, and everyone's like, "Oh my gosh, she's so fierce and independent." It's
I
like,
thought-
you know who you're talking about, right?
I thought she was the sister.
Yeah, she's some Kim character. I don't
Yeah.
know. I don't.
And she's
keep
like
up-
even worse than Kim Jong-un.
I'm sure they're both pretty bad in their own way.
Yeah, I've heard
feel
she's
like there's a-
worse.
I feel like there's a threshold where it's like, I don't really. They're both awful.
Yeah, at some point it's just so bad that like there's not
Yeah.
even really a scale anymore.
Yeah, it's like we don't need to like compare at a certain point because they're horrible, and the Kims are all pretty across the board right there, except the ones who got like
Whoa.
what's the phrase? Something and quartered.
Drawn and quartered.
Yeah, drawn and quartered. Except the ones who got drawn and quartered. You know, they might have done their atrocities, but they got drawn and quartered. So, you know, they like added to like the living ones list of things that are awful.
Yeah, I mean, okay, going back to the drawn and quartered thing, like that's terrible, right? You know, getting ripped in half and stuff.
And
But
quarters.
I have to feel for the horses because they have no say in the matter, you know?
Well, at least they get to live.
I know, but they have to like listen to their masters, and their masters like, yes, go rip this man in half.
They're like, we'll give you plenty of carrots if you cut them in half. And they're like, oh, okay. Sounds like a plan.
I'm a PETA member over here thinking of the horses, you know?
How are you? I'm
Yeah.
a PETA member over here making
Whoa!
a disturbing flash game so you think of the horses.
No,
Oh, man.
PETA is terrible. I hate them.
Oh, my first exposure to PETA was when they made this really disturbing, like, Mario Flash game. And it's like seared into my brain. It's like a picture of him looking real evil wearing the Tanuki suit. And he's like holding a raccoon head and he's like covered in blood.
Yeah.
And it's like, he's not skinning a raccoon dog every time he gets that power up, you imbeciles.
Yeah.
He gets a leaf. He picks up a leaf.
Yeah, and he puts a costume on, like...
Yeah, he picks up a giant leaf, and the giant leaf turns into pajamas. Oh, man.
But it's obviously a real raccoon skin he's wearing.
Yeah, I mean, I'm really glad there was someone to shed a light on the thing we've all been ignoring, which is that every time Mario turns into Raccoon Mario or Tanuki Mario, he's dripping in blood.
Yeah.
Everyone's looked past it, but someone was brave enough to fill in the blanks for us.
I'm just, like, astounded that a group such as PETA even exists. Like, they...
I mean, there's
I
some
guess it's
crazy
not.
people in the world. It's not that astounding.
Yeah, I guess it's not astounding, but it's like, they're so... They do bad things. Like, they commit animal abuse. Like, haven't they been shut down yet?
I mean, there are a lot of organizations and groups and stuff that do atrocious things, but they do a very good job of masking the atrocious things with like the right words.
Yeah, like,
So
oops.
or they don't talk about the bad things they do, and they're like, we love animals so much that if we catch your dog that ran away, we'll kill it. You know,
Yeah.
but
Because
they say
it's
that
better
part
than
under
going
there.
back for you.
Yeah, it's that dog's better off dead. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
no, it's I mean, dog pets seem to be happy with their owners. Maybe you've never seen a happy animal because you're so used to killing them, but they tend to be pretty happy around their owners if the owner takes care of them.
Yeah.
You know, obviously, if they're like entering a dog in a dog fight, they're not going to be a very happy dog. But not many dog owners do that. You know, all things considered.
Yeah, I mean, like, surface level, their mission, stop animal abuse, whatever. That's all good, fine and dandy. But, like, it's gotten so convoluted. I don't know how they've missed the plot so badly.
Yeah. Well, it do be like that. There's plenty of stuff like that out there in the world where it's like, on the surface, something sounds kind of neat, and then you dig a little deeper, and it's like, oh, the people who do this, like, who are a part of this, are actually insane and missing the plot. It's so hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegans.
Okay.
I'm kidding.
Yeah, I was like, listen, I'm definitely not a vegan, but I don't think that's an organization. I don't think they have meetings and memberships.
I guess that's fair, yeah.
They just kind of are like, I have like what is it called when you like get bit by like a tick, Lyme disease or something.
Yes.
Or I just don't like meat or something, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to do that. I like meat. And
I do like meat.
I like products that come from animals.
Dude, chicken?
Chicken's good. Milk is good. Eggs are good.
Yeah. I'm more of
I guess.
a chicken kind of person. I could go without beef because I don't have it that often, and I don't drink cow's milk because it makes my body mad.
It makes my tummy hurt.
Yeah.
Makes my tum-tum sad.
And cows are cute, and they're like big dogs, right? But I don't feel bad eating a steak, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think two things can be true at the same time. Maybe there's mistreatment of animals in like the food industry. I don't like that. Yeah. But I also do like beef. So we have quite a conundrum. You know, maybe one day I'll just buy my own cows and I'll just make my own beef, and they'll be humanely killed. But
I think there's like a mass miscommunication. I could be completely wrong because I know nothing, but I feel like all the things that people are mad about in like the, animal killing industry, like doesn't happen as much as it used to, because people started making documentaries about it, so they've actually like changed their ways and become better.
Yeah. Maybe
not with chickens. I don't really care about chickens. They're birds. Like,
okay, well, I mean, I do, but at the end of the day, it's going to get its head cut off. I don't want it to have an awful life. You know, birds are cool. But I'm going to eat it, so.
That's fair. I forget you have birds.
Well,
forget what I said.
I have bird now.
No, I just mean more of like, it's the circle of life, food. Yeah.
The thing that weirds me out and I don't like, I remember watching this show. I don't remember what show it was, but it was like a how it's made sort of thing.
Yeah.
And there was an episode where they went to a farm, and for some reason they felt the need to show that at this farm they would like drill like portholes into the sides of cows so they could see how the cow was digesting the food.
Okay.
And I was like, that is like some sort of weird HR guy girl like a horror thing. That doesn't need to happen. No one needs to see the cow digesting the food. it should continue to live its life without a porthole in its side.
Yeah, that's
But
interesting.
I also don't know how many people know about that.
That's true.
And the 15 who do, I don't know how many of them are like, yeah, put the porthole in the cow. Woo! I think, generally speaking, if people see that, they're like, why? This is like Silent Hill. Why are you doing that? I just want a burger.
Yeah. I mean,
But,
there's definitely big companies out there, and what big companies do is really bad. But there's also a lot of small farmers out there that don't do bad stuff. So, you know,
sometimes farmers just be farming.
buy local or whatever.
Yeah, that's the thing you can do. Is just like, you know, there are small businesses around your area. You, viewer, you.
I'm talking to you.
Yeah, it might be a little pricier, but if you really are concerned about that kind of stuff, that's the literal price you got to pay. Is, you know, look into some smaller businesses and support those, as opposed to like a big business that makes so much money that they've kind of built a tower for themselves that has like detached them from humanity so much that the decisions they make are weird. You know, like I'm not going to say that like every decision a big business makes is evil, but there are a lot of big businesses that, like, I've talked about it before. I'm not like an anti-capitalist person, but I understand why people are like disillusioned by big businesses, because they get over the top sometimes.
Oh yeah, I mean, money.
Yeah, I mean, just think of, you know, everyone's got like the new iPhone just annually drilled into their skull, and they wouldn't need a new one if like they didn't artificially die, you know, like after 6 months.
Yeah.
You know, like my charger sucks, but this is the only company I can get this charger from. And my phone sucks, but what are you going to do? They keep putting in these sucky batteries that, like, die after a little bit. And it's like, I don't know. I know it's possible to make a hardware that doesn't do that, because I look at, like, my Nintendo consoles from when I was a kid, and, like, those batteries are still ticking.
Yeah.
And the chargers still work like a charm. It's entirely possible to make... Anyway. Yeah.
Oh, no, like, I get it, because, like, now that I have to worry about a washing machine because I own a house and it's stupid. Like, new washing machines do not last like old ones. Like, our dishwasher, for example, is like 20 years old and it is doing great. But like the Logitech or whatever, or the Samsung like clothes washing machine that we have is only a couple years old, and that thing sounds like there's literally some screws loose in it.
Yeah, like it's slowly breaking apart with every load y'all do.
It's like, come on, people.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I like got into like estate sale stuff, is because the stuff you'd find there is older, because the people who lived there were older. And so you're going to find furniture from like a time period where, you know, maybe there wasn't the convenience of you have it delivered to your house and you put it together yourself, but you do have the convenience of it being solid, you know, just like you don't have to worry about it breaking. You just, you know, it's thick, it's put together well. And it's just like a time period long past, because and you know, rather than try to, I don't know, like take the direction things have turned and run it into the ground and do something new, I think that just like a return to when things worked. You know, when the exchange, if I make a good product and you give me money, you know, you give me something I want, I give you something you want, and the exchange is done. You know, I'm not a parasite that needs to make sure you're back in 6 months because the product I gave you is crappy. You know, if we just return to that would be cool. I would be content. And that's why I just look for stuff like that. And, you know, if it needs a little refurbishing, then it needs a little refurbishing. But, you know, every like, you know, there's like a project, I think I've talked to you about it, And there's like a particular camera that I want for it because
Yeah.
it just has a specific look that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
New stuff doesn't really capture it. It's not even because it's bad. It's just it looks different. There is like a value to that kind of thing, and that's why like a couple weeks ago I talked about the whole don't throw old stuff away. You don't need to keep it, but like find someone who will take care of it because there is like a value to that kind of stuff, even if you don't see it.
Yeah, like thrift stores full of old stuff.
Oh yeah, dude.
There was like one time I almost bought a washing machine that was like from the 50s just because it was so cool. And it still worked, but I didn't need it.
There's just like this specific look to certain things. Like if something has like a wood grain finish to it, oh dude, that looks so cool to me.
Yeah,
like,
and like no, I was just gonna say the washing machine specifically kind of on that same idea. It has a dial on it, obviously, to like set the settings, and the way the dial ticked was just so good. Like nothing nowadays ticks like that, you know? It was like delicious.
Dude, that's the guy from The Dark Knight Rises.
It is. I feel like he always plays a Nazi.
In this movie he does. In The Dark Knight Rises he does.
I know.
I mean, maybe he does in this movie. I don't know.
Isn't it horrible to get typecasted as the Nazi character?
He does. It's funny because he doesn't have blonde hair, and I don't know, he might have blue eyes, but he does kind of have that, like, yeah, I am the scientist who's here to experiment on you.
Yeah.
Just something about, like, the jawline or something.
Yeah, his mouth.
Yeah, he's got a Nazi mouth.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway.
What?
But yeah, there's just like certain looks of that kind of stuff, and that's why it's always really cool whenever whenever you find something from the past that's been maintained, because just because we live in like a more modern age doesn't mean that everything we do is better. I think that's a good thing to keep in mind. Sure, maybe our phones are cooler and stuff, but one, that doesn't mean we know how to explain it, and two, that doesn't mean the manufacturer knows how to maintain it.
Yeah.
There's some stuff, maybe that washing machine you found was just like an entire brick of asbestos, but dude, it looked cool, and it had a really cool tick to it.
It's true. I will say, like, the ceiling fans in this house haven't been replaced since it was built 43 years ago. But they, even though they're super outdated, they still have that, like, appeal to them. And they still work like a charm.
Yeah. I think especially like, when everyone else is moving on to, like, the modern stuff, there is, like, even more of a charm to having stuff that's quote-unquote outdated. Yeah, just because something isn't, like, currently popular doesn't mean it's bad. And if you're the only one that sees that, then that makes what you're interested in all the more unique.
Mm-hmm. And it's fun because having an older house that has been, like, very, I would say, lamely updated throughout the years. Like, no one's fully modernized this house. Like, for example, we pulled the stove out at one point to check the outlet behind it to see whatever voltage it was. But pulling the stove out, through the years, they painted the walls, but they never painted behind the stove, obviously. So there's, like, the original wall color and the original color of the cabinets that were, like, facing the stove that they wouldn't paint because, like, you'll never see them. And it's like, whoa, this, like, one little corner is, like, a blast from literally the 80s. It's so crazy. That's just been sitting here secretly.
Yeah. That kind of stuff is really cool to me.
I think it's fun. And I always try to find the dates on things, and the previous owners left all the manuals for, like, all the whatever, the appliances in the house, and some of them are dated from, like, the 80s, the 90s. It's just really cool.
So cool. Yeah. Yeah, that's, like, the time period I really like, is, like, 80s to early 2000s. I know that's, like, multiple different types of, like, looks, but, but still, like, I don't know. There's just something about it. Like, obviously, late 90s, early 2000s is like straight up nostalgic for me. I
Mm-hmm.
wasn't alive in the 80s, but
No.
the 80s still has this look because it does have a bit of a connection to a lot of the things I have like a nostalgic connection to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like I grew, I mean, to put it simply, stuff like I grew up with like Mario, and the first Mario game was in the 80s. And so like that wood grain style TV I've got in the other room, that's like the kind of TV like my parents would have grown up playing
Yeah.
Mario on. And I grew up like with the tube TV I have in this room. Um and so there's just like a look that's just like your home, for a lack of
Mm-hmm.
a better word, to that kind of stuff. Even if it's stuff like I said that I didn't actually grow up with. I wasn't alive to see, like straight up rabbit ear TVs in the 80s, but there's just something about it.
Yeah.
Something about that older fashioned looking thing that's just it's unique.
Yeah.
Even sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, like, the older looking TVs, like, even though we didn't have the TVs with the antenna, we still had the next step, which was without
Mhm.
antennas, but they were still like the massive TVs.
Yeah, we weren't that many degrees divorced of that technology.
Yeah, but if you go from the antenna TVs all the way until like modern TVs, like, there's no connection at all.
Yeah, other than it shows a picture and it's like a
Yeah.
square. But yeah, like one day I'll have my own place and it'll be my dream home, whatever. And in the living room there'll be something like a modern TV, I'm sure. But there'll definitely be a corner of the house that's just like, this is the GameCube room. And it looks, it's just going to be like a replica of some random person's living room in like the 2000s, early 2000s.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's just like, you want to play you want to play Barbie and the Secret Spies, or
Yeah, exactly.
or Mario Kart Double Dash, or Hello Kitty Ribbon Racer, or Monkey Ball, or stuff like that. And I think that's cool. As much as I love, to go back to video games, as much as I love the Switch, there is like a charm to those older games back when the industry focused on, let's just try to make a good game, because if we don't, there isn't any, I don't know, patching, hypothetically speaking. But nowadays you have developers who are like, you get that game out in 8 months, and then maybe we'll talk about a patch to make it actually functional.
Yeah.
And that's like AAA.
Yeah, like the city that crashes your game.
Yeah. Dude, I've been watching so many videos about the new Pokemon games. It's so frustrating. It's like, how does a series this big get away with so much bullcrap?
I know. That's why they're so big. They know
Yeah.
people will buy it.
I know there's a lot of people who defend it. I saw people in the comments of one of those videos just like, why does this game get so much hate? It was about Sword and Shield, which I've been very vocal about not liking. And I played it. I played a lot of it. I have an opinion on it. Just because I played a lot of it doesn't mean it's good. It just means that I had a friend who wanted me to play it with him. Yeah, people in the comments were like, why does this game get so much hate? Like, the story's not bad, I think was literally one of the things they said. They said, like, the story wasn't bad. And it's like, that doesn't mean it's a good game. It just means the story wasn't bad. And also, I don't think anyone plays Pokemon for the story.
No.
And then someone was like, I'm glad someone else thinks that. And he was like, I know they took away a lot of features, but it's a new game, so why are they surprised? And it's like, so what you're saying is they took, by your own admission, they took out a lot of stuff people expect from Pokemon. And not only should that be expected, but it shouldn't be complained about. And that's why it's a good game. That's what you're saying. That makes a lot of sense. It's like that's, I don't know. It's one thing if someone's just like, hey, despite how objectively not that great this game is, I had fun. And you don't have to explain it. I understand there are very flawed games where people enjoy it anyway. I understand, but it could have been so much better. Like, imagine how much fun you would have had if it was like an actually good game. But anyhow.
Yeah.
That kind of thinking in like video games is silly, just like we're invincible and we have enough fans who will just eat anything. That let's just keep pushing that limit. Let's see how much they'll actually consume and then just move on without question to the next thing we pump out. It's like, it's awful. Like, I only got so much money. I'm not gonna spend it on every little thing that has, like, the Pokemon logo on it.
Yeah. It's like Assassin's Creed, how they just pump games out and everyone's like, stop.
They're like, but it's got an assassin in it and no time travel elements, and now they're fighting in the... I don't know.
Desert?
They're fighting in the desert. War. They're fighting in Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Oh, I'd play that, actually.
That'd be real, like, Assassin's Creed becomes Modern Warfare. That'd be so weird. But, eventually you run out of enough ancient history. You gotta start doing modern things.
What is happening in this movie?
I think they're emotionally leaking.
Ew, what is that? Well,
Like
while
the
this is
Grinch.
happening, I'm going to take 2 seconds away to let Chip out of the room because he's freaking out.
Okay.
I'll be back. 2 seconds.
Alright. Viewers, let us know down in the comments. Have you ever emotionally leaked?
Happy baby.
There's a part of the Grinch where he goes, I'm leaking. That's what they were doing. Excuse me. I still got so much pizza to eat, but I don't want to do it in y'all's ear. Welcome back.
Whoa, what was... You playing a didgeridoo over there? What was that?
No. I went, wow, 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 wow. No, I said, I got so much pizza to eat, but I don't want to eat it in y'all's ear.
Mmm.
And I guess that sounded like a didgeridoo. That... I had a friend who made a didgeridoo out of a PVC pipe once.
How did that sound?
I mean, kind of sound like a didgeridoo. Even, like,
Okay.
started to learn how you, like, breathe through your nose as you're still, like, blowing into it.
My...
I was gonna say, he's a cool guy. Anyway, what?
Oh, I was going to say, my favorite memory... Not my favorite memory, but
My
a memory
favorite memory.
from childhood. Whenever my mom would vacuum, we would get the vacuum tubes and blow into them really hard.
Mm-hmm.
They
That's
make
your
funny
favorite
noise.
memory?
It's my favorite memory.
Oh, I miss those days of getting the dusty vacuum tube and blowing into it. Oh, I had such a great childhood.
And it was really loud, and my dad
Yeah.
would be like, hush!
Okay, go, quit blowing into those vacuum tubes. I'm trying to sleep.
Yeah. In the middle of the day.
And I got a headache. I got a nap. The vacuums are too loud. I gotta take a nap.
Nappy time.
Probably what I'd do. That's probably why I'm not a successful man. I'm just kidding.
Nap through the
in life.
vacuums.
Yeah, I would go inside of the vacuum and nap in it. Like a little force field.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa! What is up with this lady and her
Texas
weapons?
Chainsaw Massacre. Eat your heart out.
Why didn't she just drill where the handle was so the door would open?
Why didn't she just drill into the door and then drill into another part of the door and just keep doing, just like stabbing the door over and over?
Oh, she's
And
got a
maybe,
knife
just
now.
maybe. Uh-oh.
And then he goes through the poop chute again.
The poop shoot boogie.
What?
The poop shoot boogie. There's a head crab on the... Oh, he just smacked it. It was like some tinsel or something, and it looked like a head crab from Half-Life.
Yeah, I think
And
it
then
was
he
a
like
diaper, but yeah,
that did not look like a diaper.
I think it was a diaper.
What kind of diaper looks like tinsel?
Tinsel diaper.
Tinsel. Yeah, well, okay, fair enough.
Oh, what game's he playing? What is that? Need for Speed.
Need for Speed, Hot Pursuit.
And he's driving with.
Is that a Crash Bash poster?
Everyone's got one.
No, it's a Carter poster. He's a big Aaron Carter fan.
Aaron Carter.
You don't know how great I Want Candy is. It means everything to me.
No. What? Captain America's girlfriend, Peggy Carter, right?
Yeah.
I was like, Captain America's name is Carter, right?
Captain Carter.
Captain Carter.
Captain America Carter. Middle name United States of
America.
Captain United States of Carter. Would you like some tea?
Wait,
With
no, what is
Get
Captain
Out drugs
America? Oh,
in
Steve.
it? Steve Rogers.
What a lame
Steve
name.
Carter. It's just supposed to be a normal 40s dude, you know?
I know, but it's still funny.
It's so funny. Every time I hear my name is Captain Rogers, I go, ha! Yeah, right. That never happened. That's the least realistic part of this movie. I can get behind Red Skull, but Captain Rogers? What is he, Mr. Rogers?
Yeah, Mr.
But a
Rogers.
captain? Yeah, right.
Why do they have such a little mini garage just for the car? That's so funny.
You just answered your own question.
I know, but it looked photoshopped into the shot, you know?
Why do they have such a funny little garage? Because it's funny. Oh, okay.
Because they're like, oh, crap, we need a prison for
Our car.
our car.
Yeah. Our car got taken to the raft. To Alcatraz.
Wow.
The light electros moving through the
Yeah.
hills.
Watch out, he's coming.
He's coming. He's gonna electro you. You just got electrode, he says.
Nerd Electro, like Dr. Manhattan looking Electro, or...
Does Dr. Manhattan look like a nerd to you?
No, like, because, you know, the original Electro was like a blue dude, like Dr.
Oh, you
Manhattan.
mean okay, from Amazing
Yeah.
Spider-Man. Okay.
Yeah, or the new one, where they fixed him.
Every time I think of Electrode, I think of the old one. And no, not the blue one. I mean Waluigi in yellow and green spandex Electro. Classic Electro.
Yeah, he's pretty funny.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He sounds like he would talk like,
Yeah.
like Skeletor.
Riddle me this, Spider-Man. What goes up in flames because he loves this dame?
Does he always rhyme?
No.
Okay, I was like, that'd be so funny.
But he does look like he talk like that. He looks like the Riddler, but in different green spandex.
I see.
With like a zigzag mask thing. It's pretty good. I
A
gotta
Harry
say.
Potter mask.
No, yes, you're right.
Remember when we were gonna sit and watch every Harry Potter in a row?
Yeah. I remember that oh so naive Ubu from so long ago.
And then I was like, yeah, it's gonna be like 6 hours just to watch 2 of them.
Yeah. It was like that's going to be physically impossible to do in one day.
Yeah.
Let's not even watch the second one.
Yeah.
Eventually, I'm sure we will. But not any time today.
No, not today.
Yeah. Just kidding. I actually rented it, so we're watching
No, it's almost my bedtime.
it. Yeah, I mean, I did not. I mean, to be fair, I guess 2 1.5 hour movies is 3 hours, but
Yep.
sheesh. When is this freaking movie end?
Yeah.
Ah!
I was about to say we still have like 30 minutes.
Good heavens. It's going to be 11 at night when we finish.
I know.
And that's not including any goofs and gaffs we have during the credits, and then whatever conversation we have after the movie.
There will be none of that. The movie will end, and then the audio recording will end.
Yeah, and then I'll say, I exported it, have a good night.
Yep, and I'll be like, bye!
Yeah, and then you'll just fall on the floor and fall asleep.
Yep, won't even make it to my bed.
Yeah, so violently that it would be like a Family Guy bit.
Yeah.
Good night!
Fall down the stairs and break my legs.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll get into like a really bloody fist fight or something, and that'll be funny for some reason. Like that.
Wow.
That was funny. They got in a bloody fist fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's so funny that everyone who watches it turns into Curly. They go, woo, 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 woo. And they do his little jump thing. All right, here's a heated discussion we can have.
Okay, heated discussion after the food industry discussion.
Yeah, favorite stooge. Go.
Favorite stooge. I haven't watched enough of the Three Stooges.
Okay, you've got Mo, who is the grouchy one. You've got Larry, who has the big hair. You've got Curly, who is the bald, chubby man.
Yeah.
You've got Shemp, who is the one that looks kind of like Mo, but isn't. And then you've got Joe, the one who looks kind of like Curly, but isn't. Joe honestly looks kind of like Kingpin.
Well,
if I remember correctly.
Okay, I'm looking up pictures.
All right.
Just for reference.
All right.
Oh, I remember Shemp. He looks like he works in a coal mine.
Mm-hmm. I guess.
Joe, Larry. Does. And then they don't have Curly on here, but I know what Curly looks like.
Dude, what? Curly is like the stooge. It's like if I asked you who's your favorite Little Rascals character and they didn't have a picture of Alfalfa.
Yeah. I mean, I would say Curly because, like, his real life was so sad. My man's needs some more support. But that's all I really know about them.
To be fair, I think that's true of, like, all of the Three Stooges.
But he seems the saddest. How about that?
He did die at an early age after having a stroke that, like, killed half of his body.
Yeah, see, that's pretty bad.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why he's my favorite.
Okay, well, that's depressing. Curly's my favorite because he's funny. But to be fair, well, at least Mo, Larry, and Curly are funny. Shemp is okay. I don't think anyone liked Joe. Joe is just like a replacement for Curly because he was a chubby, bald man. But most of what he did was just like, you know, when they do like the boop, like poke in the eyes, instead of doing something back, he'd just like complain. He'd be like, ah. And so people are like, that's lame. We want him to like do it back. We want him to do the thing where he hops in the air and goes, woo, 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 woo.
Yeah.
But, you know.
I never liked Mo because he gave like Big Brother vibes.
Yeah, in that like, I'm always watching you.
Yeah, no, he's just mean all the time. I'm like, why are you being so mean?
I like Mo. Mo's probably my second favorite just because he is like the instigator of so many of the hijinks. It's like you wouldn't have the Three Stooges if you didn't have hot-headed leader of the idiot group Mo, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, he's like the smartest of them, but that doesn't mean anything because they're all brain dead. And he's just like the least brain dead of them all.
That's fair.
But on top of that, he also has an abrasive personality, which leads to all the eye poking and the head bopping and stuff.
The physical abuse, you mean?
Yeah! And that's funny! That's why people like Tom and Jerry. They like physical abuse in comical situations.
Sorry, Mr. Bean is just blatantly drinking the poison. Mind control. Yeah.
Yeah.
Why is he so thirsty?
You know, why would you just grab someone's drink in the middle of a...
I know.
It's That's my favorite actor. I didn't know they got a cameo from Timo Zevin Berthanol.
That's my favorite Roman dictator.
I loved him in Doctor Strange.
I was about to say Rowan Atkinson looks really cool in that like SWAT team outfit, but then
He does look really cool right now.
He started doing that.
Seizing and playing the air guitar, he looks really cool.
Yeah, I see why they didn't, greenlight this drug. It's not very controllable.
Yeah, there's a small window where he'll do whatever we want, they say, as he's doing this.
Literally flossing before flossing was the
thing. There was something I was going to say, but oh yeah, earlier he was goose stepping, just like Mr. Bean's Holiday, question mark?
Yeah, question mark. The movie we're watching after this, question mark.
I mean, we could, but we won't. Maybe later.
Oh, that was good.
See, a little physical abuse is pretty funny.
Wait, how tall is Rowan Atkinson? He looks massive.
6'8", I think.
6'8". I kind of would believe that.
He walks into a room and is like crouched at all times. Bean the Giant, that's what they call him.
Bean, he's 5'11". He's not like extremely tall.
What?
He's not over 6 foot, so I'm not interested anymore, actually.
He's kind of a manlet.
Oh, he has a girlfriend. Hold up. Let's see. Rowan Atkinson, height, weight, age, girlfriend, body statistics. What is this website?
I feel like at his age, he shouldn't have a girlfriend. Maybe, just maybe, he should, like, have gotten married to that person. I don't know.
Now I'm curious. Maybe he had a tumultuous relationship with a woman and then they divorced.
Yeah. Maybe.
Oh, he was married for what it looks like 24 years.
Mm-hmm.
And then they divorced in 2014.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's dating some other lady.
Oh, okay. Well, he needs to hurry up and put a ring on it. He's kind of old.
Maybe he's realized that marriage is bad. I don't know.
Oh, is that going to be the next heated discussion we have?
No, I mean, he was married for 24 years and then got divorced. Maybe he's not ready for another marriage.
I feel like if you're not... I don't know. I feel like if you're married to someone that long, maybe it's because of circumstances revolving people very close to me, but if you're married for so long, at what point do you not just be like, if I feel like getting a divorce with you right now, I understand it's just kind of a fleeting thing. I'm just kind of being silly. Like, at what point do you just like, it's been like 2.5 decades.
Well, I feel like that's why... Yeah, I feel like that's why a lot of people stay together, because they're just like, what's the point? Like, I'm going to have to go find someone else. Mm-hmm. And that's why, like, a lot of people stay in bad relationships, I guess. But also, like, I feel like people who are going to get divorced stay together for the kids, and then once the kids become adults, then they get divorced.
Mm-hmm.
Even though that doesn't help anyone if you hate each other. You being together, faking it, the kids are gonna know, like, what do you mean?
Yeah. I guess maybe just don't marry people you hate.
Yeah, like, get to know someone. Like, don't marry someone after just a month. Like, it takes at least a year to really know somebody.
And
at least a year.
And don't make, like, if you have a genuine reason for leaving, then okay. But don't make excuses just because you're feeling a certain way. Don't, just because it takes two. Yeah, it takes two to keep that relationship up. And I don't know. Love is a beautiful thing, and the fact that so many people have it like squandered for them because like half of the equation refuses to make it work. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's that's upsetting to me.
Yeah, it takes two to tango, and I guess I've
Mm,
been very fortunate that me and my boyfriend, we've been together for 5 years and we have great communication and whatnot. And yeah, I also feel the same way because I'm like, it's, I mean, I guess I'm looking in from the outside. I'm like, oh, I got it all figured out. And it's like, no, I mean, we're just good at
mm.
talking to each other. And when we have conflict, we tell each other. I feel like a lot of people just like have problems with the other person and then just don't say anything.
Yeah, I
And then
mean, it's like, yeah, communication isn't just like, how was your day, honey? It was good. How was yours? Good. All right,
yeah.
we have communicated. It's, yeah, it is like the nitty gritty stuff, but that honesty is how you work through the things that are uncomfortable and you grow your relationship and become stronger because
Yeah.
you aren't just hiding something, just like repressing something that will grow stronger as you repress it. you're
Mm-hmm.
you're act you're like getting it out there in the early stages so that you can like tackle it.
Yeah, exactly. And I know confrontation's hard. Trust me. I get it. It's hard.
Mm,
But like if you actually love the person, telling them is the best thing you could do. Because depending on how they react, you either one, know if you should stay with that person, or two, if you should leave them. Because if they
yeah,
respond badly, it's like, okay, maybe this isn't meant to be.
yeah, I get that. I mean, there. I like to think of it as like with family members and stuff, where there are definitely difficult issues that I've had to tackle with them, but at the end of the day, they're still my family, and it's not like I wouldn't say I have any family members where it's like a toxic relationship. It's like maybe some people I don't like, don't have much in common with, but there are family members where like, we get into spats, but we still love each other genuinely. And
Yeah.
it's like we have a good understanding of each other. And also just because like, a person has some sort of experience that has grown a relationship with someone else, it's important to remember for everyone, like, I mean, you kind of said it with the, it's not like we're perfect or anything, but it, no one is, that's just a
Yeah.
part of it. Like, the person you're with isn't perfect, and that's not, I know that there are a lot of like really big circumstances that, some people have gone through traumatic things, and when I say people aren't perfect, they think I'm trying to like mask something awful, but I don't mean
Yeah.
that. I just mean people deal with stuff, people have baggage, people are fallible creatures, and just unless they do something horrible and fill in the blank, something atrocious, then they in their own way they aren't that different from you, and you aren't that different from them, and that kind of openness is very important. The I'm not better than you just because you think this way and I don't. You're not better than me because you think this way and I don't.
Yeah.
We're both just people, and presumably we love each other. And we will continue to work at it even when, like, the honeymoon phase of, like, wow, I met a beautiful person, fades away.
Yeah. It's like, I feel like a lot of people like the honeymoon phase. They're like, oh, it's so easy and everything's so great. And then they think it's just going to be like that forever. But every relationship, not even like romantic, just every relationship requires a lot of work to
Yeah, that's
keep up
true,
with it.
too.
And you gotta put in the effort. Like anytime I'm like slipping, my boyfriend's like, hey, remember, you know,
Mm-hmm.
stop acting that way. And I do the same for him, like we keep each other in check.
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I guess that's a good way to put it. Is like that's not a thing exclusive to like a romantic relationship. It's
yeah.
yeah, like just think of viewer. Think of like, any friends you might have. If you ever stop and think to yourself like I don't have any friends. there's someone in your life who you at some point were on friendly terms with, I'm sure. And if you feel that you genuinely don't have any friends, maybe just there's a possibility, because I've been there, where you're kind of expecting other people to come to you. And
Yeah.
that's why things have fallen by the wayside, because maybe they felt the same way that you feel. Maybe their life has gotten busy, so the only way that friendship is going to continue, well, I say continue, the only way it's going to be continuously fostered, I guess, is if you reach out to them, because they just don't have time to reach out to anyone.
Yeah.
There are a lot of things like that. It wasn't until recently. I mean, I went years feeling completely alone, like before the VTubing and stuff, and even a
Yeah.
little bit into the VTubing. And it wasn't until I started making like manual steps to like talk to the people like at my church and stuff, and like reconnect with old friends. It was
Yeah.
me who did it. And like I've got like so many plans to like I go get lunch with so many folks, and we just talk about life, and we hang out at church, we hang out after church. I get in, and eventually you get to a point where they're like, I enjoy this person's presence, so maybe every once in a while I'll invite them to something.
Yeah.
You gotta give to get. And yeah, I think if you're in a position where you're thinking like, I'm alone, and the reason you feel that way is because like you aren't really reaching out to anyone either. It's if you're like I was, where you'd be like, man, I wish I had a girlfriend also, I don't want to talk to anyone. It's like, well, that's like the logical conclusion. It's like, if you don't want to talk to any people, you're not going to meet anybody.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, like and that's not exactly a good mindset to go into a relationship with, that like you're owed like people coming to you as
Yeah.
opposed to you meeting people halfway. So just
Yeah.
keep that in mind as we watch Rowan Atkinson fall off this gondola and kick a man in the nuts.
And I know it can be hard because I mean, at least I've in the past been like, oh, but they probably don't want to hang out with me. Or like, what if they think I'm weird for asking? And
Hmm.
that's that big old thing. You just gotta stop caring.
Yeah.
And it's
I mean,
easier said than done. But like, if, like, who cares what they think? Because like, it's not like you're gonna know what they're thinking.
yeah. I mean, yeah, like for okay, let's entertain that thought that maybe, just maybe, they're doing it, or like okay, I guess a better way to put it. This is a conversation I actually had a couple of days ago, because I, for years, like since I was a kid, had like this self-pitying thing that
Mm-hmm.
I've done a pretty good job as an adult of stifling, but it's still kind of there, where it's like, what if they're just doing it because they pity me, and that's like the reason they're my friend?
Yeah.
There's like that thought of, people don't just want to spend time with me; they just feel bad for me, like I'm some creature.
Yeah.
And recently, I was having a conversation where I was talking about that. I was like, I'm sure there's a couple people who do that. Like the people I've been spending time with and stuff. And I kind of walked through them in my head, and I was like, well, I know he and I actually hit it off because we have like common interests, and then we just started talking. And he and I used to be like volunteer youth leaders for the youth group together, and we like talked about video games, and then we hit it off. And
Yeah.
then he and I hit it off during like a Bible study, and then like we just started talking every week. And then he invited me to like his family's after church lunch thing, which typically people don't get invited to, so I'm assuming he doesn't invite people he pities to that. And then I was just kind of like, yeah, I guess I guess I just have friends.
Yeah.
Guess that's what that's called. So um yeah, like, you know what? If just to play along with that, oh, they're not actually my friend thought process that someone out there might actually have. Um You know what? Maybe they do pity you, but keep hanging out with them because they obviously, if it's not a one and done, you know, like I'll hang out with them once and never talk to them again, then that's like genuine pity where it's like I'll spend some time with them. But if it's like you're still hanging out with them, they enjoy your company.
Yeah, they like you.
Yeah, that's what we call friendship. And I know that
Yeah.
I know that, you know, as you become an adult, you start to put two and two together and like attach terms that you've heard your whole life with like actual phenomena in your life. And you're like, oh, that's what friendship is, you know? Like it's kind of the pity thing, but like long term. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's what it feels like, but it's not that. Yeah, and yeah, it's very, very, very important to understand that I feel so bad for this old lady. Why do they think that was so funny to keep beating up this old woman? Um,
'Cause old lady get hit.
Old lady get beat up, brain damage. So funny.
Brain
Mr.
damage.
Bean give the brain damage. Me go roll. Okay, I don't know why this just awakened something in me, but since we're in the credits, I'm going to change the subject. And you know that meme where people say like something go burr?
Yeah, yeah,
I hate that.
yeah. It's pretty cringe.
What does that mean? What is like when I hear burr, I think like cold.
Yeah, I think they mean like brrr, like a little engine or something.
But most of the time it's not like I understand what you're saying. I've thought that
Yeah.
too. But like 9 times out of 10 it's not applicable to like an engine thing. It's just
Yeah.
like I don't even know. Like stop eating that sandwich. Sandwich go brr. And it's like that's what does that mean? You
I think it's just devolved at this point.
yeah, it's like it was I think like the first one was like Money Machine Go Burr or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then it made sense. But now I think it's kind of attached to like like it's a recognizable meme, even if it's like decades out of date.
Yeah.
So obviously it's not that old, but and so
Decades.
they just keep bringing it back because it's like a recognizable punchline, even if it isn't applicable. It's
Yeah.
kind of like when people will just like I've seen it so much. They'll take the ancient aliens guy doing his hands out, and they'll just
Yeah.
like put a word under it, and it has nothing to do with aliens.
I know.
It'll just be like water droplets, and it's like, well, to get it because he said aliens.
Yeah, it's like the original point of the meme is lost to time.
Yeah, yeah. Like the origin of that was everything is explained with aliens, and then they were just like, you know, what would be funny is if we attach a noun to the bottom of this picture of the ancient aliens guy.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't like memes like that. I don't like it when people shoehorn memes just so like people they can get like high fives from people.
Agreed.
Yeah. I could go on for hours about that. Probably should have started that part of the conversation at the beginning of the movie. Speaking of which, what did you think? Best boy?
I think 10 out of 10.
Best boy.
Best boy. Yeah, 10 out of 10 put efforts into your relationships and you will see them blossom.
Yeah, assuming the other half of the relationship also puts in effort.
Exactly.
So make sure you do it and the other half does it. Yeah, this movie was fine, I guess, but I didn't like all the beating up the woman. Felt bad for her.
To be fair, I think it was a different old lady every time, but
I don't know. I might have been the same one. But
stunt double, yeah.
Either way, like, okay, two old ladies got beat up by Mr. Bean. I mean, if it was like actually Mr. Bean, that would have kind of been funny. Because Mr. Bean's, it's already kind of established that he's just like a terror on society.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like the part when he chases the guy by just like going down the elevator. I like That's about it.
That's about it, yeah.
All right, how much more we got? Yeah, I'm not sticking around for 2 more minutes.
Yeah, no, that's I'm done.
Yeah, this is a certified I'm done moment. All right, everyone. Thank you for being here, and we'll see you the next time that we're here.
Yup.
More.